Annie and Clarabel were Thomas's coaches. Annie could only take passengers, but Clarabel could take passengers, luggage and the guard. The coaches were old and needed new paint, but Thomas loved them very much and they loved him too. Thomas never got cross with Annie and Clarabel, but he did get cross with the other engines on the main line who made them late. One day, Thomas, Annie and Clarabel were waiting for Henry's train to arrive. Henry was late, and Thomas was getting more and more annoyed. How can I run my train properly if Henry's always late? He doesn't realise that the Fat Controller depends on me, he said. I'm sure he'll be along soon, replied Annie and Clarabel, looking around for Henry. At last, Henry's train arrived. Thomas was very cross with Henry, but Annie and Clarabel waited patiently as lots of passengers got out of Henry's train and climbed into them. Finally, the guard blew his whistle, and Thomas started at once. But as the guard turned to jump into Clarabel's van, he tripped over a woman's umbrella. By the time he had picked himself up, Thomas, Annie and Clarabel were steaming out of the station. The guard waved his red flag to stop them, but Thomas and his driver didn't see him. Come along, sang Thomas. I've lost my nice guard, sobbed Clarabel. Annie tried to tell Thomas, we've left the guard on the platform. But Thomas was too busy hurrying to listen. Oh, come along, he puffed impatiently. Annie and Clarabel tried to pull Thomas back, but Thomas paid no attention. Thomas didn't stop till they came to a signal. That silly signal! What's the matter? Thomas asked his driver. I don't know, replied the driver. The guard will tell us in a minute. They waited and waited, but the guard didn't come. Where is the guard? Whistled Thomas. We tried to tell you. We've left him behind, sobbed Annie and Clarabel. Thomas looked back along the line, and there was the guard, running as fast as he could. Everybody cheered, especially Annie and Clarabel. I'm very sorry, said Thomas, when the guard reached them. It wasn't your fault, Thomas. It was the woman's umbrella, said the guard, catching his breath. The signal is down. Let's make up for lost time. Thomas set off at once, and Annie and Clarabel sang, as fast as you can, all the way to the end of the line.